Hello and welcome into another video. In today's video, we will be talking about the Great League Remix and the top teams and the Pokemons that you are eligible to use. Great League Remix has been one of the best cups in the past, and it's a fun cup until carving became a thing. And what's the difference between Great League Remix and Great League? Great League Remix, basically the top 20 most used Pokemons will be banned. So stuff like Basti, Cash, Altaria, Cresselia, Stunfisk. I don't know why Stunfisk, because here nobody uses Stunfisk. Medi, Vigoroth, Skarmory, Azu, Lantern. All of these Pokemons are eligible to use, not eligible to be used. Talonflame, I don't even know anyone using Talonflame. Talonflame, G-Fisk, even Medi. Nobody uses Medi, it's bad, it's horrible. Dugong, yeah, I could see that. Lickitung for sure, Feraligatr for sure, Lantern, yeah, it was popular last season, but not this season. So I don't know why they make... how they make the bans about last season most used Pokemon and the current season. Like, nobody's gonna use Lantern because it's technically nerfed, as an example. So yeah, if we look at the PvP ranking, we could see that Carbink is number 1, followed by Registeel. Registeel actually dodged the ban list because technically people stopped using it because it's kind of slow in the current meta where every Pokemon just get to an insane move in 5, like as an example. Feraligatr, Annihilape, stuff like this, Gligar, those Pokemons are just extremely fast to get to their charge move. Mantine, Steelix, Empoleon, Steelix again, one with Shadow, one non-Shadow, Mandibuzz, Guzzlord, Regirock, Gligar, non-Shadow. But if we look at my list, because my list is more of like what I've seen people using in this cup, and as always, we divided them into lead, safe swaps, generalist. The safe swap is technically like the weakest one, so people like usually don't like the good Pokemons. I put them either lead or generalists, okay? So this here is kind of like a cope list, but that doesn't mean it's a bad. Like as an example, Regirock has play into most of the stuff you will see. Dragonair has, like, I featured the Dragonair team in the Great League Remix last time, and it was an insane team. I even used it. So in the lead Pokemons are Pokemons that like are able to pressure you with fast move and some baiting moves and some nuking moves. And the biggest example about like the perfect lead in the entire game is Gligar. Gligar is an insane Pokemon. I don't know how it dodged the ban list again. Because everyone uses a Gligar, okay? I don't know what's their criteria. I refuse to believe that Gligar wasn't one of the most 20 used Pokemons. Gligar is literally in every game. Mandibuzz is a crazy good Pokemon. Guzzlord is like the best anti-dark Pokemon. So if you see like even Mantine with Ice Beam struggle to beat Guzzlord. Guzzlord destroys Mandibuzz. Yeah, you could say it's a fine matchup for Mandy because Mandy is usually used to bait out the Guzzlord. So technically you'll find that situation. I refuse to use Pidgeot, but if you're using Pidgeot, if you're using the non-Shadow, you use Feather Dance. If you're using the Shadow, you use Aerial Ace. Togedemaru is good on paper, but it never make the list, like whenever people start using it, because there are so many Pokemon that just destroys it. It's crafty. It has Thunder Punch now, so it's not as bad into Mantine, but it's still kind of bad. Maybe if you have Energy Lead, sure, but Thunder Punch doesn't KO the Mantine. Aurorus is good on paper, but it's very risky to use because the most insane Pokemon, the Pokemon that everyone will be using, is Shadow Quagsire, which destroys it. Frostlass has fallen off the meta because it's kind of slow. Remember, guys, when we used to call Frostlass a spammy Pokemon, it's no longer spammy because we have like much more crazier Pokemons like Feraligatr, Gligar, Quag. Those Pokemons are just insane. Shadow AWAC has a play, but I wouldn't say it's the most flexible Pokemon. Obama Snow is technically good, but it's a situationally good. Like I would rather just use Guzzlord, to be honest. Yeah, I played my Guzzlord into their Obama Snow like multiple times, and I've never complained about that matchup. The generals are like, this is like the crazy good list. Isn't Annihilape banned? Yeah, Annihilape is banned. Sorry for the mistake. But yeah, in this list, you only care about one Pokemon, which is Steelix. I think Steelix is like the craziest Pokemon among those. Shadow Empoleon is actually insane. If Shadow Empoleon gets a good lead, you're just not gonna have a good game in that one. Like, Empoleon just one of the hardest hitting snowballing Pokemons in the game, as long as it gets a good alignment. I think Poliwrath is banned. I saw it somewhere. No, it's not. Okay, Poliwrath. Maybe people don't use Poliwrath. Maybe I'm the only one who see Poliwrath around. So some spicy stuff you could use. Shadow Drapion has an issues. I would say this is the best one. Hackerman, Hackmo, whatever you call him. He has like it's a great Pokemon, by the way. It's like people just don't use it because Guzzlord and Dragonite are slightly better. Buzzwole is not bad. The problem is it's just too squishy, but Buzzwole can sometimes hard RPS. Like if the opponent's swapping Quagsire, you just go Buzzwole and just entirely wall it. Shadow Gramble is always fun to use. So now we talked about the Pokemons, let's talk about the top teams, and that's probably why you guys are here. The best team on paper, if you go to PvPoke and try to build a team, and you choose Carbink because it's the #1 Pokemon in the league. PvPoke will recommend using Superior as a coverage for the Carbink, and they actually make an insane core because whatever Carbink lose to. Because whatever Carbinks lose to, Superior destroys. And they make it like a decent core, like this is a hard-hitting Pokemon, this is a hard-hitting from Charge Move Pokemon, this is like a faster Pokemon, this is kind of a slow Pokemon. And if you need a third with those two, Gligar is just the best third. But if we look at the PvPoke and we want to make the top 3 PvPoke team, that would be Quag, Reggie, Carbink. And the concept behind this team is like, number 1, Carbink, number 2, so you lead it, number 2 is Registeel, so it's in the second spot, number 3 is Quagsire. The team technically does not make any sense. As an example, Pokemon like a Quagsire on the opposing side will just destroy you, so you kinda better running something like a Gligar instead of one of those two, and you should have a good team. Now, we talked about those on paper teams, but what is in fact the best team in this league? I would say that it's a Steelix, Mantine, Ferrothorn. I featured this team by Queen Kaya. I think it's Comviper as well. It's Comviper's second account. And I do say that this team is the best team, and he actually tested it out, and he had a crazy run to Legend last season. The video, if you want to watch a video about this channel, this team, there is a video on my channel. Try this team in the Great League Remix Cup. Feat Queen Kaya, Pokemon Go Battle League PvP. Literally, like, if you go and watch it, you will know why this team is actually insanely good. And if you like Legend teams, we do have a Legend team that Matt Beer also hit Legend with last season. Matt Beer is like a phenomenal battler. He was a second in one of the regionals, like the biggest regional in Europe, and he was using Jellicent as a way to like get a shield in the lead advantage, and then his Gligar would just sweep, and if you lose the lead, you just go to Steelix. We do have a video on the channel called Legend and the Remix with a non-XL team, and it's like this is the thumbnail for it. I do recommend also checking out this team. This team is crazy good and kind of safe. Like, you don't have any frail Pokemon. You have this Pokemon that has pretty much a neutral play into everything, and you will be able to grab a shield advantage in the lead, which will help your Gligar insanely to like destroy the opponent's team. There is an A9 team that I wanted to feature because this team was basically popular back then because it was the team that beats all the Steelix teams. Like, no matter where they have the Steelix, you should beat the Steelix because A9 into Steelix is not a bad matchup if they don't run Heavy Slam. And Dugong into Steelix is actually a good matchup. Ferrothorn destroys Steelix. So this team relies on the opponent having Steelix and a Mandy or a Mantine. So if they have either, you win. If they have both, you should win. That's like literally the concept behind this team. This team is like designed to assassinate the Steelix or the Mantine or the Mandibuzz teams. Moving into the next one, I call it the actual best team because Superior is just criminally underrated in this cup. Like, people don't respect it, and all the teams I featured so far are just like insanely weak to Superior. And it's just a crazy good Pokemon. Like, if they are weak to grass, Superior will just run through their entire team. It will shred their entire team, in fact. And moving into the next one, it's kind of the same as the ones we featured, but I call it fake double steal because I keep saying this and some people keeps like typing like some, I don't know, mad comments. Like, Carbink is not a steel Pokemon, it's a rock type. Rock types technically a worse version of steel, but it has the same steel weaknesses. So this is a fake steel. I was like, oh, but steel is not weak to this and rock is weak to this. Yes, that's why it's fake steel. Rock has the same meta weaknesses into steel. You lose to fighters and ground, and those are like everywhere. So those are usually on teams to beat steel and also to beat rock, but nobody care about rock type because it's just a bad typing. And someone was like, oh, if Rock is a bad typing, why Bastidon is OP? Because it's a steel subtyping. Because of the steel subtyping and the insane defensive stats. That's why Basti is OP. The most toxic team in this cup, I would call it the Steelix double Flyers, because this is just the 3 bulky Pokemons that will just time out you for the win. It's kind of a slow team, but it's good for those people who always like swing around like 2500 MMR, and they want a team that they technically don't have to try hard with, because the team itself will try hard for you to win. Because with this team, if you win the lead, you're just gonna RPS from there, and if they swap in Quag, you have a Mantine that literally destroys the Quag. If they swap in something like, I mean, they can't swap Guzzlord. If they have Guzzlord, they technically lose. And yeah, I think that's it. No, we have 2 more teams, and this team, I think I featured it in the last day, and I was impressed of how like insane the fast move pressure with this team, and how like massive, like how strong Salazzle is, because people in the last day were running either A9 or Pharaoh or Steelix, and all of them get destroyed by Salazzle. I recommend watching this video literally for fun, just to see how like a Pokemon with literally just attack stats will just shred a Steelix, will just shred A9 with like 3 Incinerates, and A9 won't be able to do anything. And lots of people will be running A9 with the Steelix or the Steelix with Pharaoh. So you most of the time will be winning the lead and then just like RPS from there just by having Salazzle. I 100% recommend watching this team for fun, or even if you have Salazzle. I myself don't have a Salazzle. The video name is Melting Down the Remix Cup with Salazzle, Feet, Twisted. I think Twisted is like a great battler. And yeah, we have 1 more team. If you are into Guzzlord, I think this is the team I will also be running. So Mantine, Quagsire, and Guzzlord. I don't think I will be able to make more videos about Remix Cup until the Monday after, because I will be in New York Go Fest. So if you want to see some Go Fest grinding, make sure to stop by the channel, because I will be doing some live streams from New York. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And this is the end of the video. If you guys like this video, please leave a like. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your day, night, or whatever you're having. This is the end of the video, and that's it for the day. Peace.